telling a kid eat what you cooked or don't eat it all is definitely a form of child abuse, gang. Like y'all be out here literally terrible ass parents. Like everybody should not be parents. Like stop having kids if y'all gonna do dumb shit. Like you feel me? Because at your big grown ass age, would you let a motherfucker tell you that?
I said I'm never coming back again. Next I stepped away from the mirror. I got my mind made up now, cause I can see the future much clearer. What's happening, man? This is stupid. This is basically everything is an abuse. You know, fat dude. Why am I not surprised? Fat dude talking about, you know, being a picky eater as a child and it's abusive for a child to eat what they parents made. That is stupid. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. A lot of y'all are adults who don't have kids who are complaining about what abuse is because your mind is still childlike. Nobody's gonna take a fat person serious talking about food. You know, I was abused because when I wanted to eat something else when my parents made dinner. That's not you just being greedy and selfish. See, that part isn't, that part isn't brought up because it doesn't dawn on you yet. Well, I don't care if I don't care what they plan to do. I don't care what amount of money they spent. I don't care what a lot of time they put in. I just want what I want, and I don't care. Look like you ain't missed no meal, so shut up. But this extends to other stuff. You got people who are on the phone most of their childhood and iPad phone most of their childhood and adulthood, and they're like, we didn't have we didn't talk, and we didn't have any quality time. And now you were abused because we didn't have actual conversations. You talked to a lot. You was on that iPad a lot, playing a lot of games, ignoring the conversations. You was on that phone ducking every conversation but the one in your house. You had time for every conversation except for the one in your house. Oh, you had time for everything. But now that you an adult, now it's abuse. It's abuse. Nobody cared about me. Shut up. Check your phone records. See what you was doing. You know, y'all y'all are not be y'all haven't to be perfectly honest, y'all wasn't abused. You know how I can tell y'all didn't have abusive childhood because of the things you consider abusive. Y'all not talking about physical abuse. Y'all not talking about, I hate to do that, sexual abuse. Y'all not talking about y'all say everything is mental abuse, so I don't even go to bed. It's time to go to bed. I was abused because my parents made me go to bed at a bedtime, and I wanted to be up until 2 in the morning. So they were abusive for not letting me be up till 2 in the morning. So now I need therapy. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Then we got this thing where you want to abuse people's time and money your whole childhood, and then become an adult, and when it's time for you to have to abuse your own time and money, all of a sudden now you got an epiphany that it was wrong. Now, man, this adult thing is hard, man. They ain't tell me this, they don't even love me. Shut up. No, you just want to you still want to be you want to be spoiled like a child. And to be perfectly honest, your parents and your family did a disservice to you by spoiling you so much when as a child. Most of y'all, and here's where I got to get into it with this abuse. A lot of you young adults are what were actually spoiled kids who didn't deserve to be spoiled. And now you're adults, you know, begging the world to help you out and spoil you some more. No, no. Y'all really not abused, y'all are not hurt. Nothing's really wrong with y'all. Truth be told, nothing is really wrong with a lot of y'all. And I say that, the thing, because too many stories are coming out of, and I'll say it this way: black kids acting like white kids did when I was a teenager. Y'all shooting your parents because they want you to get a job. You get what I'm saying? Y'all, you got a kid. I hate to say that the kid killed his friend because he wouldn't share his fries with him. Y'all still crashing out over video games. You know, you made me a man. Everybody must die. But you're the people who were abused. No, y'all the people who didn't get y'all ass whipped. That's what that really is. Truth be told, y'all y'all should have got abused because maybe it'd have made you better people. Because this self righteous struggle that y'all have that comes from nothing is annoying. You know, you got people in their 20s pontificating, just over there. Well, my psychological profile, because my deep, dark childhood of being in my room watching TV and playing video games has me depressed because I didn't have any friends because I didn't want any friends because I was in my room playing video games. And now I have anxiety from being outside with other people. And all I want to do is be in my room and play video games. And I'm 25. And maybe I'm on the spectrum. Yeah, you're on the spectrum of lazy and stupid. Hmm. But then again, when people say, "Hey man, it's time for you to grow up and be an adult, get up out of here," I was abused. I'm not ready for the world because of the abuse. Not taking y'all seriously. Not taking y'all seriously whatsoever. And then, if add insult to injury, y'all don't consider that you actually are the people who might be verbally and physically and mentally abusive because y'all crashing out and fighting people over as adults over teenage stuff. Y'all out here cussing out people because you don't want to be an adult. Like, you're mad because over food. It, you see people even being abusive to the public. Like I saw this video of this guy at a restaurant, and the restaurant wound up putting him on blast. You get what I'm saying? The restaurant put him on blast because the restaurant uploaded their security footage. Grown man, wife and kids, white couple. He couldn't pay the bill, so he started digging in his shirt to pluck his underarm hairs out and put it on the plate and said it was a hair in his food. He don't want to pay for nothing. Saw a video of a black woman um, getting arrested, crying because, and people from New Orleans know what I'm talking about. The police had the street kind of blocked off like it was a second line, so they had those big orange. I forgot what those big orange whatever pylons or whatever, and they have the tape over it. And this woman is dressed like she just got out of bed, really, or she was working out, and she's like, "I got to get to work," and then she breaks the pylons and drives in the middle of all the people and families. Women, families and children walking in the middle of the street that's blocked off because I got to go to work, and then she gets arrested and she wants to cry. Y'all, but this is the behavior that you guys are putting out in society, and you're leaning on being abusive. Y'all are doing stuff that is not really mentally illness. It's not even crashing out. It's really just dumb, childish stuff that a child would think is that they should do when they're having a tantrum. And then we get into this thing with abuse. Society didn't got get super soft, super stupid, super entitled, and I say that's the other issue. Um, People not fulfilling your entitlement became abuse. People not giving you what you didn't earn has become abuse. People telling you the truth is abuse. People holding you accountable is abuse. People putting up boundaries and setting barriers is abuse. People telling you no is abuse. Y'all have no clue what abuse is. Y'all really don't. That's just scumbag logic y'all got. I'm just whatever, man. Tell me what you think though. Like, share, subscribe. I'm out, man. Peace.